Hey guys, welcome to this new video. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you all some tips that will help you get the most out of your iPhone. Basically, settings that will help you get better battery life and save you data and just improve your experience on the iPhone overall. Here we have the iPhone 11 Pro Max 256 gigs in space gray. The first tip is especially helpful to people who have a limited Wi-Fi connection. The general belief is that Wi-Fi is unlimited. However, in this part of the world, a lot of people who have limited Wi-Fi connections or even sharing like hotspots from one phone to the other. To save data when you are on a limited Wi-Fi connection, all you have to do is come into settings, go to Wi-Fi, choose your Wi-Fi name, whatever it is. I know mine is also. Select it, and then you tick low data mode. This is going to help you save data if you are on a limited Wi-Fi connection. The next tip also concerns Wi-Fi. However, it can be found under mobile data in settings. When you are on a Wi-Fi network, what you want to do is come here, mobile data options, and choose the slowest possible speed on that voice. And the idea is to make sure your phone isn't scanning for an LTE or 3G network. Even if it's 2G you can just set it to 2G. It's going to save you some battery life when your device isn't scanning for those networks. And you're on Wi-Fi already, so why do you need those speeds? The next tip is under notifications, and it's going to help you manage your notifications better. You can customize how you receive your notifications in the sense that you can choose what displays on your lock screen or not. You can choose what displays on your notification center, that's your pull down, and you can choose those pop-up banners that come out. So go in here, play with it, and know what works best for you. The next tip is under screen time, and this screen time feature was designed for people who are well addicted to their devices. And if you feel like, you're in that category, you can come here under downtime, set the downtime. When you set this downtime, you won't be able to use your phone at these times, like to use your internet connection and all that. You just have your basic features. During downtime, only apps that you choose to allow and phone calls will be available. Under app limits, you can also set limits to specific apps, probably like your social media apps. Maybe if you notice that you use Instagram too much, you can limit yourself to like 1 hour a day of Instagram and all that. A lot of people don't know how to update their software. It can be found here under general. So software updates, and whenever there's an update, you find it here. There's no update here for me now. The next one is also under general, and that's background app refresh. This is basically you telling your phone what apps you want to be using data in the background. For instance, I have stocks here, the stocks app, I've turned it off. Voice memos, I don't want those refreshing background. If you have stuff like WhatsApp and stuff, you want to leave them on here. If not, you will not receive messages until when you open your WhatsApp. The next one is still under general, and it's helpful if you have a big phone like the iPhone XS Max or probably the 11 Pro Max, and it's under keyboard. If you want to use a one-handed keyboard, you can come here and choose whether if you're a lefty or right, you can choose right here. And I am right-handed. What that does is whenever you open your keyboard, you have the keyboard leaning towards the right here, so you can easily reach every part of the keyboard with one hand. The next one is the dreaded autocorrect. If you don't know where to turn off autocorrect, it's also on that keyboard, and that's simply turning off autocorrect here. The next one can be found under accessibility in settings, display and text size, larger text. I like to reduce my text size to the minimum. This gives me a lot of screen real estate, and I like it this way because this way you can fit more things in your display at once, and it just makes sense to me. However, this is not for you if you have an eye problem. The next tip is actually to help with the speed of your iPhone. This can be found under motion in accessibility and reduce motion. iPhone has these transitions that make the phone slower. So what you want to do is to come into motion here and reduce motion, and you will instantly notice that your phone is faster. The next one can also be found under accessibility in settings, audio visual, LED flash for alerts. When you turn this on, your LED flash will come on whenever you have like a notification or like a phone call or something like that. So if you find that useful, that's where you can set it. The next tip can be found under display and brightness in settings, and that's just simply turning on dark mode. Dark mode was added in iOS 13 and it looks awesome. If you don't have dark mode, it means that you are on an older version of iOS and need to update. The next tip is also under brightness and display, and that's night shift. When you turn on your phone, check notifications like in the middle of the night, sometimes that light goes directly into your eyes and it's very uncomfortable. You can solve this by turning on night shift, and what that does is it gives your phone this brownish hue, and that basically is reducing the blue light, which is bad for your eyes. The next tip is found under battery in settings, and that's low power mode. For when you are running out of juice, turn that on so that it will reduce your background activities and dim your display, save you some battery. Next is also concerning battery and still under battery in settings, but now we are going under battery health. And what you want to do is turn on optimized battery charging. This is going to help with how your battery ages, which means over time your battery is going to stay good. The next tip is a data saving tip, which can be found under iTunes and App Store in settings. If you don't have enough data, what you want to do is come here and turn off automatic app updates. Also, you want to turn off video autoplay while you're in the App Store. What this does is it doesn't automatically update your apps. However, it is recommended this is left on because it's better to update your apps so you have the best performing apps. And this one, obviously, as the name says, videos on the App Store won't be playing automatically. Nobody needs that. Now to the final one. For some reason, Apple decided that the best place to keep your camera settings was not in the camera app itself, but to keep it in settings here. Doesn't make sense, but yes, this is where you find it, and this is where you come to change all your video settings and all that. Anyways guys, that's been the video. I know most of you know the things mentioned in this video. However, I also know that some people don't know. Either way, I hope this video helped you one way or the other. If you liked it, please leave a thumbs up. If you loved it, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.